To Dr. Eileen, ma'am, and my fellow classmates, good day. So, I'm going to report today about human resource fraud. So, let's start. Human resource management is the term used to describe formal systems devised for the management of people within an organization. The responsibilities of human resource manager fall into three major areas: staffing, employee compensation, and benefits. Essentially, the purpose of HRM is to maximize the productivity of an organization by optimizing the effectiveness of its employees. However, in some instances, these human resource management are very vulnerable on different fraudulent acts. Fraud is defined as deliberate deception, trickery, or cheating intended to gain an advantage. It is considered an illegal act and it is characterized by deceit, concealment, and violation of trust. Every company must have a deliberate plan to prevent and detect fraud, and must never underestimate the potential of an attack from within. The impact of fraud in an organization can be monumental. Not only it can have a significant financial impact, but depending on the type and severity, it can also destroy an organization. So sabi dito, every company must have a deliberate plan to prevent and detect fraud, and must never underestimate the potential of an attack from within. So, ang ano kasi dito sa fraud is yung trust issues. So, dapat hindi tayo magiging confident o maging maluwag kahit nakapasok na yung isang tao sa settings, ano ba, sa isang settings sa company o kaya sa business establishment, dapat hindi tayo anong tawag doon, yung dapat hindi tayo confident masyado na ibibigay agad lahat natin yung trust sa isang tao. So, sabi sabi dito na must never underestimate the potential of an attack from within. So, dapat meron tayong safety and precautionary measures para ma-prevent yung mga fraudulent acts. At sabi din dito, the impact of fraud in an organization can be monumental, meaning huge o malawak o malaki. Not only it can have significant financial impact, but depending on the type and severity, it can also destroy an organization. So, yun nga, yung worst case scenario, pwedeng ma-destroy yung isang organization. Every organization wishes to be a great place to work as it can attract and retain the best talent. Every employee wishes to work in an organization which has a good work culture as he or she get fair treatment, growth opportunities, and remuneration. Meaning yung remuneration is kabayaran or payment. Pinakasimpleng term is kabayaran. In this one aspect, management and employees are in complete agreement as it benefits both. The key player for achieving this goal is the human resource function. However, an ineffective human resource function can cause the most damage not only for achieving business targets but also for increasing fraud risk. Employers need to be aware that employees at any level of organization may be capable of fraud, and an employee may commit fraud against his or her employer without committing any other type of illegal or unethical activity outside of their work life, making it difficult to spot someone who may commit fraud before hiring them, which is an important distinction for HR team members to know. So, nasabi dito, um, and and an employee may commit fraud against his or her employer without committing any other type of illegal or unethical activity outside of their work life, making it difficult to spot someone who may commit fraud. So, meron kasi iba na uh, sa mga siguro lahat naman na pag nag-a-apply merong tinatawag ng background investigation to check the credibility siguro ng isang tao na nag-a-apply. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin na pag na background na BI ka o background investigation is okay ka na. Minsan kasi pwede kasing intentional o pwedeng sa loob na lang natuto. Halimbawa, sa intentional is pwedeng alam niya na background investigation siya. So, hindi siya nagpapakita sa labas na kung ano mang ikasisira niya para makapasok siya sa isang company. O kaya naman, totoo namang wala talaga siyang illegal act sa labas. Doon lang talaga nung pagkapasok niya sa isang business establishment o kaya company o kahit anong ano is tsaka lang siya natuto na ganun pala yung system. Pwede ko palang gawin yun. So, sa loob na siya natuto. So dapat merong precautionary measures para mapigilan yung mga ganyong act. So, dapat hindi lang pag nag-a-apply, nagko-conduct ng background investigation, dapat yung background investigation is continuous dapat. Dapat hindi siya natatapos. Human resource fraud exists across industries, across demographics, and across departments. Virtually, no organization is immune. That being said, smaller businesses may even more at risk than larger ones, simply because they have fewer resources to dedicate to finding and eliminating fraud in the first place. So it's much easier to get away with and more likely to result in high losses for organization. So sabi dito, virtually no organization is immune. So kung i-ano natin sa settings, halimbawa sa PNP settings, wala naman talagang siguro hindi naman lahat talaga is vulnerable sa ganitong acts, yung fraudulent acts. So, sabi ko nga dapat continuous yung background investigation. Kasi meron kasi, halimbawa sa PNP settings, meron nag-a-apply, halimbawa, isang kaya lang siya nag-apply, hindi naman siya gusto niya maging law enforcement officer, kundi pwedeng pag nakapasok siya, kaya lang siya gusto niyang pumasok sa PNP is to steal data. Halimbawa, nakapasok niya is to steal data, gather information, para siguro gamitin sa illegal acts o kaya halimbawa, yung isang tao nag-apply, member siya ng terrorist organization. So, ang purpose niya is siguro steal data, pwedeng tingnan yung ano ba yung mga strength ng PNP organization, pwedeng gawin niya mangyaring pag nakapasok na siya, maging connection siya para makakuha ng mga information at lalo na yung mga sabi nga yung secret mga kumbaga hindi na pwedeng lumabas outside sa PNP organization. So, dapat continuous na talaga yung background investigation kahit nakapasok na yung isang tao. At kahit ganun din sa government, isa sa government, yung iba kaya pumapasok sa government is, halimbawa, hindi natin maiiwasan, halimbawa, sa mga high position, key positions, is yung sabotage. O kaya pwedeng gusto lang na lang pabagsakin yung government, gagawa sila ng mga issue, kukuha silang mga data, mga files, at pwede nilang gamitin yon to counter the government para siguro siraan yung government or yun nga, sabotage. So, dapat talaga is continuous background. Measuring the total cost of fraud is difficult, given the amount of frauds that go undetected or unreported. However, it's estimated that trillions of revenue are lost to fraud worldwide each year. This year's study estimates that some organizations lose up to 5% of their annual revenues to fraud. When applied to the gross world product, that amount to a potential loss of up to trillion annually worldwide. In some studies, it showed that fraudulent acts is a result of a possible failure in the recruitment process. Therefore, companies with high levels of internal fraud should turn their attention to human resource before starting to develop more controls. So, sabi dito, it showed that fraudulent act is a result of a possible failure in the recruitment process. So, yun nga, sa recruitment process pa lang dapat um, sabi, kung hindi man ma-detect yung kung ano yung intention kung bakit siya nag-a-apply is dapat talaga is kahit nakapasok na yun nga sinasabi ko lagi as continuous process yung background investigation, identity theft, false resumes, fake degrees, employee misrepresentation are some examples commonly known on human resource frauds. With the intent to gain access to the company, some intentionally uses false resumes to have eligibility for only to be accepted, leading to inability of some employees to do their tasks appropriately. So, ang isa dito is false resumes, fake degrees. So, bakit ba nila ginagawa yun? So, siguro ang isang rason is para matanggap sila. Sino ba halimbawa, sino ba namang tao na magpapasa na wala, kumbaga hindi ka pasok sa standard para makuha ka ng isang company para makuha ka. So, pero kahit ganun, siguro yung trabaho ng HR is to detect nga. Sabi, kasi pag halimbawa hindi natin na-detect yung mga ganun, yung false resume, fake degrees. Halimbawa, binigyan natin siya ng given task at kasi yung nakalagay sa resume na yung eligibility niya o kaya yung specialty niya, hindi naman pala yun. So, magkakaroon ng hindi niya magagawa yung trabaho ng ayos. Ayun, nakalagay dito, leading to inability of some employees to do their task appropriately. Recruitment and selection process. Human Resource Department, along with the business teams responsible for recruitment and selection of the resources in some parts of the world. This becomes especially critical as human resource survey reports indicate that 25 to 30% candidates submit fake or inaccurate resumes. The second aspect is that with the increase in financial crime and terrorist threats, the organization becomes more vulnerable. Organized crimes infiltrate companies to give a cover to their sleeper agents. Financial institutions are the most vulnerable, as understanding the systems also helps the crime groups in money laundering and organization funds for their activities. So sabi ko nga kung guys, yung mga illegal acts na ganyan, isa sa mga is organized crime at ang karaniwang target nila is yung financial establishments or financial institutions. So, ang isa sa rason is yung money laundering. So, yung money laundering, yung mga galing sa illegal na acts, na activities, at padadaanin na nila ito sa mga legal na institution para magmukhang legal siya. Hindi siya galing siya sa illegal acts. So, isa yon sa mga dapat ma-prevent. Under such circumstances, the HRD or Human Resource Department role is critical. HRD is responsible for background checks of the candidates. Any lapses in the process can cause high risk to the organization. Here are some examples of what can go wrong. Hiring people for critical positions without verification. For example, risk management functions heads and second-in-command position are criticals. They are subject to stringent checks. Without background verification, they shouldn't be hired and can be really dangerous. One of many reasons is he or she may be not fit for the given position or task. So, yun nga, uh, na, ang isa kasi sa mga fraudulent, isa kasi sa mga gantong, for example, is pangkaraniwan is yung sa mga key positions or higher position. Kasi pag ganon, parang hindi na siya na na-investigate. So, ang pinaka worst case scenario kasi dito, hindi niya magawa ng ayos yung task niya. Second is hiring people for critical positions with insufficient verification. For example, an executive assistant was hired for a senior manager without checking criminal records. She was previously involved in a high-profile data theft case. On investigation, it was found out that the vendor who was conducting background investigation for the organization didn't even have an office in the city. The vendor was just generating verification reports with superficial checks. So yun, ayun, dapat maging maingat din tayo sa mga nagko-conduct ng background investigation. So baka mamaya sila naman yung mababa yung credibility. So sabi nga dito, baka that the found out that the vendor who was conducting background verification for the organization didn't even have an office in the city. Ayun, yung isang pinakamasama nangyari. So, dapat yung naggagawa ng background investigation is to check din natin kung may credibility ba o tama ba yung pinapasa nilang information sa ginagawa nilang background information. So, dapat maging maingat tayo. Hiring people knowing they have submitted false information. For example, in a case I found out that the new candidate was a plant by someone, most probably with the knowledge of local HRD team. The employee was subsequently found to be involved in a huge fraud. So, minsan kasi yung HR, pwedeng sila din yung mag-commit ng illegal acts. Pwedeng kasabot sila. Yun, pwedeng kasabot sila, pwedeng isa kasi sa case sa mga ganyan, pag ganyan na is organized crime na yan. May intention na talaga silang pwede namang yung HR, pwede namang hindi talaga siya nung background siya is good naman siya, pero nung nasa loob na siya, pwedeng nabayaran o nasahulan para ipasok yung isang employee para nga makagawa ng illegal acts. So, dapat nga, ang pinakamahalaga dyan yung sinasabi ko, continuous process yung background verification or background investigation. Therefore, if HRD team looks at other way or doesn't put in effective measures for background verification, things can really go wrong for the organization. The fraud risk increase quite significantly. Recommendations. Organizations must implement policies, procedures, and systems for proper background verification of employees. This is the best practice to prevent frauds. Doing complete background investigation on the personnel lowers the chance of being a victim of fraud. So, organization must implement internal whistle-blowing system that is not directly dealt with by HRD team. Senior management must review the whistle-blowing information on a monthly basis and ask the audit committee to independently investigate the reported cases. Investigation reports must be reviewed by senior management. Ayun, yung whistle-blowing information system. So, ang isa kasi sa kinatatakot ng iba yung sa whistleblower is yung kanilang safety and security pag sila ay So, dapat yung information nila is hindi di-disclose sa ibang tao pag nagbigay sila ng information sa mga illegal acts. So, dapat safety and security lagi ang yan sa kanila. Take fraud risks seriously. Organizations that seriously consider fraud risks and take proactive steps to create the right kind of climate to reduce their occurrence will be successful in preventing fraud. Management must view the implementation of anti-fraud mechanism as critical job function. Management should set the tone that dishonest or unethical behavior will not be tolerated, even if the result of the fraudulent actions benefit the organizations. So, fraudulent act is fraudulent act. It is considered as an illegal act. Kahit paanong ganda ng intention o maganda yung magiging impact sa isang organization, ano pa rin siya is illegal act siya, considered as illegal act at fraud pa rin siya na dapat hindi tinotolerate. Identify and understand your exposure risk. Organizations of different sizes and in different industries tend to have different fraud risks. Identifying potential fraud exposures areas is not an easy process. Because these exposure areas can be difficult to spot, it is more useful to ensure that proper anti-fraud measures are in place. Specific industries are more vulnerable for certain types of fraudulent schemes. A fraud specialist can use this knowledge to assist clients to focus their attention on preventing or uncovering types of fraud mostly commonly committed in their industry. So, dapat ma-identify natin kung ano ba yung pwede nating maging risk para ma-prevent natin yun. So, pag na-assess natin kung ano yung saan ba tayo vulnerable, pwede tayo makagawa ng mga measures para mapigilan yun. So, identify identify yung risk na pwedeng mangyari sa inyo. Implement anti-fraud controls. A fraud risk assessment will identify controls unique to your organization situation. However, controls common to most organizations include a vendor bidding process, completion of background and reference checks, dual signatures, and levels of approval, segregation of duties, mandatory vacations, or use of computer-assisted audit techniques. So sabi dito, a fraud risk assessment will identify controls unique to your organization situation. So, hindi naman lahat ng technique or prevention measures is applicable sa lahat ng company o institution. So, iba-iba rin yan, depende sa klase o kung ano bang risk meron kayo. So, iba-iba, madami naman techniques para ma-detect yung fraud. So, kung ano na lang siguro yung pinakamaganda o sa tingin yung babagay sa inyong institution o makaka-cope para ma-prevent yung frauds is yun yung gagamitin. So, iba-iba naman yun. Different techniques in different situations, sabi nga. At yun lang po at maraming salamat. Sana po naintindihan niyo. Thank you.